The times where people ignore the red flags and say, let's just keep pushing, those are the times where you fail. The majority of things that we're buying are created by men. You always learn more from your failures than you do your successes. I love creating, and I think that as women, you're not often given authorship.
That she became uncomfortable with Justin Baldoni yesterday while she was filming. She states that Mr. Baldoni put his bare hands on her backside and said that he was trying to help her with her posture. Complainant immediately voiced her displeasure with being touched on an intimate part of her body, and Mr. Baldoni responded with, "It's fine. I'm totally hot for my wife," in a dismissive tone.
She admitted to trying to poison the cast of Gossip Girl, which is where she made her name. They released the cut of the movie. He didn't even get to see it. He was the director of the film, the producer of the film, the guy who got the rights to the film, the one who's supposed to be in control. He didn't even get to see it. He was in the basement at his own movie premiere. Her husband are bullies.
I believe the court date is set to be, like a year from now, like next March or something like that.
They're sort of radioactive. In one breath, Blake Lively is saying she was the subject of serious harassment during the filming of It Ends With Us, and now they're making light of it on SNL's 50th reunion show. So tonally, it does seem off, and I can imagine people just wanting to stay away from it. You're going to catch shrapnel if you get involved in this drama at this point.
Remember that Justin's team released this raw, unedited video of a dancing scene. It was actually B-roll that they used in the movie, arguing between them about what's the best way to shoot it, and this, and the other.
How they look, yeah.
So some fans have noticed that there are a lot of camera angles there that look very familiar, and that Blake Lively would certainly know because she did almost the exact same scene with the guy who's now her husband back when he was playing Green Lantern.
You mean the movie where they fell in love, Charles?
Yes.
With each other?
Justin says that Blake was determined to make him the real-life villain in her story because she wasn't doing well on the promo tour for the movie. It was very tone-deaf. Her hair care line wasn't doing well. She was trying to sell booze while talking about domestic violence. Justin says the war between himself and Blake really started in May 2023 when they started shooting the movie. He claims that she was organizing a takeover strategy.
Sometimes Hollywood illusions crumble in the blink of an eye. One minute, you see smiling faces on red carpets, flawless and serene. The next, you hear mind-blowing rumors that stop you in your tracks. And trust me, folks, this one's a jaw-dropper. Jennifer Garner, America's sweetheart, allegedly blindsided by Blake Lively, creeping into her life and turning everything upside down. Yes, we're talking about a full-blown bombshell rumor, an alleged affair so twisted and messy that it left Jennifer reeling. Could Blake Lively and Ben Affleck have played everyone for fools? Or is this entire story one big misunderstanding? Buckle up, because things are about to get wild. Word on the street is that while Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner were navigating the choppy waters of their marriage, Blake Lively sauntered in like she owned the place. Allegedly, suspicious text messages surfaced, pointing to more than just casual conversations between Ben and Blake. Some say that these messages were downright scandalous, filled with flirty undertones and inside jokes only lovers would share. Suddenly, tabloids exploded with claims that behind Jennifer's back, Ben and Blake had secret meetups. People swear there were hush-hush visits to exclusive restaurants well outside the paparazzi's usual hunting grounds. Because if you're going to keep a relationship under wraps, you avoid the typical celebrity hotspots, right? Now, whether or not any of these rumors carry a shred of truth, the scandal alone was enough to send the internet into a frenzy. Fans loved Bennifer, and they were just as enchanted by Blake Lively's fresh Hollywood persona. So, how did everything spiral from so-called perfect images to swirling chaos? Folks close to Jennifer Garner claim she was the last to know, catching wind of everything through leaked voicemails and concerned friends. But that's not even the half of it. Jennifer Garner, best known for her wholesome roles and maternal warmth, reportedly learned about this entire fiasco at the worst possible time. She was, according to insiders, focusing on keeping her family afloat. She believed in Ben, stood by him through every challenge. Then, out of nowhere, she's smacked with horrifying news that her husband might be cozying up to a younger star on the rise. Imagine the shock. You think you've got a partner trying to fix the marriage, only to discover salacious rumors linking him to a glittering face from gossip columns. Jennifer wasn't just heartbroken, she felt humiliated, cornered, betrayed. They say she confronted Ben with tears and absolute fury. Some unnamed sources even whisper about a meltdown moment, possibly an intense shouting match behind closed doors. In typical Hollywood style, though, Jennifer had to keep that million-dollar smile on her face for the cameras. She had professional commitments, children to protect, and a whole brand to uphold. But beneath the composed public image, she was, according to rumors, absolutely shattered. And just when you think Jennifer had enough, the rumor mill churned harder. Enter Blake Lively, the star who'd previously been lauded for her sweet, down-to-earth vibes. She seemed on the surface to have an idyllic relationship with her now husband, Ryan Reynolds. So, how does a person go from being a bright young actress to allegedly roping in Ben Affleck while he's still tied to Jennifer Garner? Skeptics say it doesn't make sense. But the rumor mania contends that Blake was more cunning than anyone realized. Some unnamed insiders claim that on the set of a project where Blake and Ben crossed paths, she turned on the charm and reeled him in. One whispered story suggests she'd send him personalized gifts on set, each one more flamboyant than the last, loaded with inside jokes meant to stroke his ego. Another rumor insists there were cryptic text messages dripping with innuendo, the kind guaranteed to spark a secret romance. And let's not forget the swirling speculation about Blake's marriage to Ryan Reynolds. Did he catch any wind of these alleged communications? Or was he left in the dark, trusting his wife blindly? The internet sure had a field day with that question. People posted their theories, dissecting social media likes and paparazzi photos, trying to detect a hint of tension between Blake and Ryan. At the end of the day, everything seemed suspicious, yet no one had definitive proof, just scraps of information fueling an ever-growing scandal. But if you thought that was the end of it, you're in for a rude awakening. Ben Affleck is no stranger to controversy. Over the years, his personal life has been an open buffet for tabloid headlines. His tumultuous romances, his on-again, off-again struggles with personal demons, and let's not forget his storied past with Jennifer Lopez. So, was Ben the unlucky victim of calculated advances, or was he the mastermind orchestrating a fling behind Jennifer Garner's back? Rumor has it that he and Blake exchanged heated phone calls. One insider claims to have overheard a conversation so intense, so loaded with tension, it could only have come from two people tangled in a secret. Others say Ben's typical pattern, craving excitement, chasing new experiences, pushed him to cross lines he shouldn't have. Of course, some of Ben's loyal defenders argue that these rumors are simply that, rumors. They believe he's devoted to repairing relationships and that the alleged fling is a vicious fabrication. Still, the so-called leaked messages keep popping up, fueling suspicion after suspicion. And as if things weren't complicated enough, guess who else has a say in all of this? That's right, Jennifer Lopez. Before the rumor mill tied Blake Lively and Ben Affleck together, people couldn't stop talking about the rekindled spark between Ben and J.Lo. Fast forward to that highly publicized romance revival, and you've got a soap opera that refuses to quit. Some folks claim J.Lo watched from the sidelines back in the day, suspecting Ben's wandering eye but refusing to get involved. Others say she was furious at how easily Ben seemed to slip into another potential scandal. Then there's Ryan Reynolds, a fan-favorite actor known for comedic roles and a sharp wit. Did he confront Blake about these rumored messages with Ben? Sources differ. Some claim Ryan left the house in frustration for a few days, while others maintain he shrugged it off, calling the speculation a load of shtick. Either way, it created an awkward swirl of headlines, forcibly roping him into the drama. And we can't ignore the quiet corners of Hollywood, the co-stars, the staffers, the PR teams. People talk. The rumor about Blake and Ben spread like wildfire on studio lots, with everyone from makeup artists to casting agents whispering about what they heard. Each new piece of gossip painted a more damning picture, but we're still not at the climax yet. By now, Jennifer Garner's heartbreak was apparently out in the open. The tabloids had a field day, splashing her anxious face on covers with sensational headlines. This was the moment when fans of Jennifer Garner, outraged on her behalf, turned their ire on Blake Lively, accusing her of stepping into a relationship that wasn't hers to break. Blake, meanwhile, put on a brave face. She posted carefully, curated photos on social media, all sunshine and positivity. Was this a deflection? A strategic move to show she was unbothered? Her fans claimed she was a target of baseless rumors, while critics insisted her perfect Instagram life was a smokescreen hiding manipulative behavior. The narrative only intensified when, allegedly, a snippet of audio leaked, someone in the background mentioning Ben's fling with Blake. Hard to verify, but fans and conspiracy theorists devoured it, dissecting every word. Could you hear Jennifer Garner's voice in the background, or was that an anonymous staffer? The speculation soared, unstoppable, and just when people thought the saga had peaked, new angles cropped up, That brings us to the rumored final straw. Talk of a confrontation. One version of events claims Jennifer Garner cornered Blake Lively at a private function, letting her have it with a string of harsh truths. Another version says Jennifer tried to keep it classy, but was forced to walk away when she realized Blake wouldn't back down. We'll never know the whole story, but whichever version you buy into, it paints a picture of raw emotion, betrayal, and unstoppable rage simmering beneath the surface. Meanwhile, more suspicious audio clips supposedly started circulating. Some labeled as smoking guns that would once and for all unmask the true puppet masters. Each snippet was more outrageous than the last, with talk of hush money, frantic phone calls, and tearful goodbyes. Was any of it real? If so, it would confirm the heartbreak and manipulation so many had suspected. If not, it was just more sensational rumor fuel, and thus, relationships were stretched to the brink. Jennifer Garner, heartbreak or not, had to pick up the pieces and move forward. Blake Lively faced the possibility of losing public favor. Ben Affleck was left grappling with yet another wave of negative publicity. The only certainty, everyone in this twisted love triangle took a beating in the court of public opinion. When all is said and done, you've got one of the messiest rumors Hollywood's ever churned out. Jennifer Garner, reportedly blindsided and devastated. Blake Lively, potentially painted as an expert manipulator, and Ben Affleck, neck deep in. Yet another scandal. It's a narrative that flips so many idealized images on their heads, leaving us to wonder who anyone truly is behind closed doors. But as the dust settles, here's the question that lingers. Has every secret been laid bare? Or are we only scratching the surface of an even more mind-blowing saga? Hollywood's rumor mill never sleeps, so don't be surprised if tomorrow brings fresh leaks, new angles, and more jaw-dropping twists. Because in this town, scandal is currency, and there's always a new story waiting to be told. In the end, we're left wondering if Jennifer Garner might still be reeling from the aftermath, or if Blake Lively truly had her sights set on more than friendly conversation with Ben Affleck. Did we witness a well-orchestrated manipulation, or is this entire fiasco a product of Hollywood's endless appetite for drama? Only time will tell. Until then, keep your eyes peeled. You never know what bombshell might drop next. That's it, folks. A wild tale of possible betrayal, heartbreak, and cunning. If there's one thing we can count on, it's that these sensational rumors have a way of evolving faster than we can say, "What a mess." The truth may remain tangled in backstage whispers, but the spectacle has already seized our attention. And let's face it, in Hollywood, that spectacle is half the game.